All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Mr. Bester, principal of Istrouma High School, and today we are starting our magnet forum. This is a panel of all very talented, distinguished members of our Istrouma family. I'm gonna I'm gonna start by introducing everyone, and then I'll turn it over to our moderators for today's session, for today's panel. First, we're going to start with Mrs. Pamela Talbert. She's our middle school assistant principal. We have our student volunteer cheerleader, Miss Pernicia Cage, and she's going to be representing our student. We have Mr. Mervyn Crump, who is our broadcasting instructor. Miss Ebony Noah, who's our middle school magnet coordinator and one of our moderators for today. Ms. Zaviola Bangale, who is our instructional specialist as well as testing coordinator, and also she's going to represent us as a parent. Her child is one of our middle school students. We have Dr. Jacqueline Mims, who is our Istrouma Advisory Council president, founder, and she's going to represent our community for today. We have Ms. Yulinda Marshall, and she's going to represent our dual enrollment. She's also one of our social studies teacher and our cheer leader sponsor. We have Ms. Lori Ciano. She is our technology facilitator, and she'll speak to us about how our Istrouma technology runs. And we have Dr. Kristen Antoine Morris. She's our assistant principal, high school, and she will also be our moderator for today. Welcome to everyone. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to our moderators, who is Ms. Ebony Noah and also Dr. Christian Antoine Morrison. They will just kind of go around and ask questions for each of us, and we'll answer to the best of our abilities and move on with the panel. So take it away, guys.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to thank you all for being here with us on this morning. We are excited about promoting the great things that we have going on here at Istrouma High School, Magnet High School. And Dr. Morse, would you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we can get started with the questions.
Okay, that works. Good morning again. My name is Dr. Kristen Antoine Morse. I am the assistant principal over instruction here at Istrouma High School. And we're going to be talking to each one of these lovely people who we have on this board, discussing the different wonderful things that we have going on here at Istrouma in our magnet program. And it's so awesome to have such a wide variety of people. I'm really excited about what this is going to look like. So, Ms. Noah, would you like to start with the questioning for parents?
All right. So, the first question for our parent is, since enrolling your student in the magnet program at Istrouma, how has your child grown academically?
Good morning. I can answer that one. I have an eighth grader here at Istrouma Middle Magnet, and since enrolling, my daughter started off at sixth grade. I've seen her grow tremendously since sixth grade up until eighth grade. She is definitely learning on level work, and she's doing above and beyond in her English, math, science, and social studies classes. I love the fact that she's had the opportunity to grow in other courses as well through the JCC program and through our media classes in the middle school, TV and film. I've seen her uh, grow behaviorally, personality wise. I've seen her blossom and become more confident in herself and more confident in her work. I'm very proud as a parent and very feel very privileged for her to have been at Estroma Middle these past 3 years.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Awesome. Awesome. Ms. Noah, I'm going to go ahead and move. I'd like to talk about community because parents are part of the community, but I'd also like to highlight our community partner, which again, we're so excited to have Dr. Jackie Mims on this call. Dr.
Yes.
Mims, as it pertains to community, you guys are one of our largest partners. You're one of our strongest supporters, and actually were integral, extremely integral, into having our school opened again. So why did you decide to partner with Istrouma?
So I'm going to try to keep this brief because I have a very long history with Astruma. Back in, and a couple of things I do want to mention that I think it was around 2005 that Astruma Middle Magnet actually closed. And the primary reason for the closure was we were closing that building. The building was being condemned and torn down. But historically, Estroma Middle Magnet has always had a waiting list. It
Mm,
was one of the most popular magnet programs in the entire parish. And when I'm not exaggerating about a waiting list, my oldest son, Marvin, was on the waiting list and never got in. And Darren was determined he wasn't going to get on the waiting list. He was going to actually be accepted and still wears his Estroma Middle Magnet t-shirt very proudly. But one of the primary reasons we focused on the middle school was when Estruma High School was closed in October of 2013. From that moment on, we began working with the Recovery School District, and while we were fighting to have the school reopen under East Baton Rouge Parish, we still had to take into consideration that that was a possibility that that wouldn't happen and we'd be looking at a charter school. But either way, whether it was looking at a charter or returning back to EBR, no one believed that we'd have the population of students for Struma High School. And so we couldn't justify reopen, no, at least I'm not going to say we couldn't justify. RSD and EBR's response was they couldn't justify reopening just the high school because they never thought we'd have more than 500 students at the high school. And so early on, when we were working with the Recovery School District, we proposed the middle school high school combination for two reasons. One, to justify opening back up the entire campus, and therefore you would have a middle school component on the campus, but also because historically we always knew how popular Astruma Middle School was. And so our hope was that we could not only open the campus, but that we would bring back Estruma Middle School because we saw it as a vital component to the community. Around about the same time, the middle school in our community closed. Prescott Middle had closed sometime thereafter. So we were void of a middle school before we were void of a high school. And so it just made sense to lobby to reopen the campus at 38 and Winburn with a middle school, high school component to serve the community, so our children would not be bussed out of the community for middle school or high school.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Mims.
Yes,
Ms.
thank you. We
Noah?
appreciate that history, Dr. Mims.
Thank
Struma
you.
does have a rich history, and
Yes.
I'm actually a proud product of a Struma Middle Magnet as well. So we definitely appreciate you for speaking on that for us this morning.
Yeah.
While we do have some very important people on this panel, the bigger picture and what's most important are our students, and that's what we focus on here at Istrouma. So I would like to direct the next question to our student representative, Miss Pernicia Cage, this morning. And so, Pernicia, I would just like for you to explain and tell everyone what makes you excited about going to Istrouma High School. Well, I mean, what it is about Istrouma that means so much to you?
Well, I think decades, and one thing about the show that I really love, they really care about you. They challenge you, they make you better, and they just push you on a work hard and be somebody. And I also love the cheer program, of course. It's very motivating and someone who represent a strummer and
I think, Pernicia, we lost a little bit of your sound. So if you can try that again.
can y'all hear me?
Now we can.
You
Okay.
might need to get a little closer to your mic.
Okay, I'm gonna start over. Okay, well, what I mostly love about Astroma is the teachers because they really care about you and they push you to want to work hard in life and just be somebody. And they're like always challenging you and just they really care. And it's hard to find teachers that really care about you and want you to be somebody and just work hard in life.
Thank you, Pernicia. It's always good to hear students with their commentary because they are the people that we are affecting and they are the people that are going to move forward and build this world. So, Ms. Noah, I'm glad that you brought in the students' perspective. And Pernicia, you did a wonderful job. Thank you. But when we're talking
Yes, we
about
did. Thank you.
we're also talking about, so we talked about parents, we talked about the community and the students, but let's kind of go to that next level and talk to some of our teachers. So we have a couple of teachers on here, and I'm going to start off with Mr. Crump because Mr. Crump is our magnet teacher on the high school side, and I'd like for him to discuss his class, tell us a little bit about what your class is about, what it looks like, what a typical day would look like in your classroom, as well as, you know, how you interact with your magnet students.
Thank you, Doc. First of all, let me say that I appreciate what Pernicia said. I guess she got all that from my class and other classes. She feels like we care, and I always joke with Pernicia. She knows she's one of my favorites. So I was very glad to see her on here this morning and represent the students. She does deal with these things very well. And as far as my class, actually, let me kind of start. Let me kind of work backwards real quick. There's some facts and figures I can throw at you. Since 2002, Louisiana has had over $2 billion worth of production done here. We've got the highest statewide film activity growth in the United States. That then makes us a leading film location outside of California and New York. Then leads to an annual employment growth rate of 23% per year, which is the highest in the country. Now, here's where it gets crucial and why I teach the class the way that I do. This has established local sound stages, motion picture service companies, and now creates a growing pool of skilled labor. That is where the rubber meets the road for me, because what I'm teaching the students does have to do with production in film, shows, so forth and so on. But my background is also in corporate productions, which means you kids are learning how to do convention services, which is the same, except you're doing it on a slightly different scale for different reasons. So it sort of doubles and triples their opportunities when they get out of the program. Since in let's see, in 2017, New Orleans experienced a 6.2%, 6.02% increase in direct visitor spending, contributing to $8.7 billion to the economy in New Orleans alone. So we can't even talk about statewide how much bigger that is. So I give all those facts and figures to say the reason that I teach the way that I do and what I do in class, as far as, and it's actually apropos that we're doing this today, because what I'm teaching the kids about right now is situational awareness, okay? Because I can teach them how to run a camera. I can teach them how to set up a tripod, how to run a studio. But what they have to develop after I've given them that technical skill is the ability to, it's like driving a car, knowing how many cars are behind you, on side of you, in front of you, how fast you're going. The same thing applies to production. You've got to know whether or not the lights are hot, if anyone can trip on the cords, how to make sure the equipment is secure so it won't get knocked over. We actually have something in class called the 3 S's. It's safety, strategy, security. And I actually will return to those rules over and over, because the one thing I'm telling about situational awareness, there's what you know and there's what you don't know. And you want to go with what you do know. It's facts, rules, logistics. What you don't know, you don't know. But if you're aware that you don't know it, then you create this continuous loop of working on something, perceiving it, comprehending it, and then thinking about it in the future. So a typical day in class will be myself talking about an aspect such as types of shots. You know, what is a close-up? What's a medium shot? Why do we do this? I will ask them, I will repeatedly ask them, I don't want to put Felicia on the office when I ask her, how's a close shot used, how's a medium shot used? But she knows that I actually will repeatedly ask, what kind of shot are we looking at? What is the light? How is the lighting being used? How many lights are on this person, and what type of lighting setup is it? And I'll continually pound that, and then I'll go to something like situational awareness. Okay, well, when should you turn that light on? When should you turn it off? You know, how close should it be to the talent? How do you make the talent comfortable? So not only am I giving them hard skills to utilize, such as how to plug in a camera, how to set it up, how to run it into a studio setup, I also teach them soft skills, as in how to make the talent feel more comfortable. If you're the director and the talent is nervous, I have exercises that I give them to do, sort of like tongue twisters and things like that, to warm-ups. That way they're getting that human element that would sort of translate to customer service to some degree, and understanding that if they were in the hot seat, they would want someone to make them comfortable too. So I also try to rotate them. They'll be in front of the camera, behind the camera. They'll be involved in the creative process for writing and so forth. And the end game ultimately is going to walk out of my program, out of our program, with the skill set to grow into any job and go in any direction. Because again, my background is in doing corporate production as well, and I became something known as a fireman. Okay, which meant I could do audio, I could do lighting, I could deal with the customer, and it meant that they could kind of plug me in anywhere, which meant that I stayed working. And that's another thing that I try to teach them: be versatile. Okay, so ultimately, the end game is to make them as versatile and capable technician and production workers they can be, so that they stay working, and that's an encouragement. I do find that they interact and they learn new things and they get excited, and that's pretty much what fuels and drives me as a teacher. So, like I said, I was glad of what she said, that she felt like.
Thank you, Mr. Crump.
Mr. Crump.
Before we move from teachers, we do at Istrouma High School have our students enrolled in dual enrollment, and all of our magnet students, seniors, are enrolled in some type of dual enrollment course. and we are dual enrolled with Baton Rouge Community College. We have partnered with them and are continuing to broaden that partnership so that we can do even more. But right now, academically, we have the majority of, well, all of our senior magnet students who are involved in dual enrollment, where they get a college credit now for free before they move on to college, and they kind of get to see that setting. Ms. Marshall, can you tell us a little bit about dual enrollment here at Istrouma?
All right. Good morning. Turn my volume down. Our dual enrollment partnership is with Baton Rouge Community College. They offer several courses, which include the History of World Civilizations 1 and 2, Intro to Psychology, Intro to Sociology, College Algebra, Intro to Criminal Justice, and Race Relations. The students really enjoy it. They are always excited when they come in to check in with me to let me know how it's going. They love the fact that their assignments are posted early and they have all week to work on it. That's the joy of them being able to do their college work. They're like, oh, we actually have extra time to do assignments. I'm like, yeah, you do, but you just have to make sure that you do it in a timely fashion. And it's also showing them that they need to communicate with their teachers, because some of them were having issues with getting in the class. And I'm like, well, did you email your teacher? Did you try to call? And it's like, well, I can do that. I'm like, of course. I'm like, when you get in college, you're going to be an adult. So you're going to be responsible for taking care of those issues on your own. I said, Ms. Marshall is here right now. I can walk you through it. But this is good practice for when you do get to college. And also because of the fact that they're taking classes now, they're able to tell their siblings, their other classmates about the dual enrollment program. They get to experience the college life per se, even though it's virtual right now, but they can talk about the program and how it is and motivate other students to want to be in the program. And they also get the experience. Most important thing in life is the experience. And right now with the Istrouma High, they are getting that experience and they are enjoying it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Marshall. I would like to say that those two teachers did give us some good information about what we have going on, talking about career path as well as college path. And we all know that college is very expensive. And so for students to be able to receive some college credits at no cost to them is a very awesome thing. So thank you all for that information. Moving forward, I would just like to address another one of our teachers before we move to our administrators on the call. The question is that I have is, what is it that parents and students can get here at Istrouma that they can't get anywhere else? And I would like Mr. Holmes, who is our aquaponics teacher, to come on and just discuss that real quick. I am very proud of our aquaponics program, and students who are in our honors academy, they are allowed to deviate from the broadcasting track as far as electives are concerned, and they can take that aquaponics class. So Mr. Holmes, could you please just touch on that for us real quick?
Yes, ma'am. You're looking so beautiful over there.
Thank you very much.
So look, I'm gonna keep this, I have a lot of information. I'm gonna try to keep it short and sweet for you. So agri-science, we also have a component called aquaponics, and that deals with fish, where the fish waste is being used to help produce fertilizer for the plants. So one of our biggest issues in Baton Rouge is that we are part of the food deficit problem, which means that we do not have enough stores where we have affordable or good quality fresh food. So what our program is set up to handle that problem in our community, to offer high quality produce. And another thing, I just finished writing a grant for a school-based program where we can have a fresh food market on our campus, so we can also offer high quality food for our community. Another thing that we offer is hands-on experiences. I am developing a program where we have engineering aspects where kids will learn how to make their own systems, and eventually we'll provide that for the community as well. We have a program set up for technical skills, research-based, team building, not only on campus, but other campuses where we have colleges and college students come in and work with the students. We also have partnership with AST team. This is a renowned engineering program that offers all kinds of plumbing devices for international. And they also are willing to partner with our kids where they can have an internship program. We also have build self-confidence. I mean, our program goes on and on. I can go on and talk forever, but I'm gonna stop right there. And if you guys have any other questions, we can talk about that later.
Thank you so much, Mr. Holmes. That was awesome.
Yes, it was. That's why I definitely wanted to make sure that we touch on that. We have a little kept secrets here at Istrouma that a lot of people don't know about, but we are about to make sure that the world knows about all of the great things we have going on at Istrouma. So, Dr. Morris, do you think that it's time to let our lovely principal speak?
Yes, it is definitely time for us to hear from the top. So with that being said, I know you're over there at the middle school side and you're closer to the middle school administrator. So why don't you go ahead and introduce her again, and let's start rolling with that question.
All right, so thank you. So I have the pleasure of being over here with the lovely Mrs. Pamela Talbert, who is an assistant principal here at Istrouma High School, but she oversees the middle school, and she does a wonderful job. So, Miss Talbert, we are going to hear from you this morning, and the question that we have for you is, what are some of the strengths? What are some of the positive things, the strengths, the good things that you can say about our magnet program here at Istrouma Middle Magnet, being one of only few dedicated magnet programs in EBR?
Well, first of all, I am excited that you all chose me to be a part of this panel. I am so excited. Thank you all for just saying, Ms. Talbot, come on. It's a lot of things that I can basically talk about all day long about the strength. One thing, we are unit. We are one unit. We may have a middle school, but we're, and a high school, but we're one. The strengths are, number one, our middle school students get an opportunity to see how they can grow to the middle school, to the high school. So it's like a feeder. They get a hands-on first side, first hands-on. We have middle school students who are now taking high school courses. And so that's wonderful. So when they get an opportunity to go to high school, they can take more extracurricular things. So it'll be fun for them and they're learning. Also with the middle school, another strength is that the faculty and the staff, we are together, the middle and the high. And this is something new this year. We have Mr. Bester, which is our principal. He is about unity. And so that is wonderful. And I'm excited about that. We've had a lot of blows this couple of this year passed, but we're going to be number one. And like I tell you all the time, we will and we shall be a Blue River school. Because why? We are going to strive for it. It doesn't matter what it sounds like or what it looks like. Failure is not an option. It is not an option. So I'm excited about being a part of this. And so everyone needs to know that we are here. We're producing great things here. Just come see. I tell them all the time, just don't hear about it. Come see. Come see all the great things that's going forward. And I'm just excited. And that's it. And I thank you
And
all.
we can tell that you are definitely excited, Ms. Talbot. We appreciate the energy that you bring to the campus. And just to piggyback off of what you said, a lot of our middle school students are allowed to take high school credit classes such as Algebra 1, Physical Science, Quest for Success. So we do have several classes that our middle school students can take on the high school level. And like you said, they're on the high school campus, so they get to see firsthand just a little taste of what high school may be like. We're a dedicated magnet program, and our class sizes are small because we're a small component. We have a total of 150 students, so all of our class sizes are smaller, which lets the students have an advantage. So thank you, Ms. Talbot. Dr. Morris, I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
I have one
Oh,
more thing. I just have one other thing I want to say. I heard Dr. Mims stated that back years ago you had a waiting list. We will be like that. They are going to knock on our doors. We're going to have a waiting list because why? We have the best. We are nothing but the best. If we're not accepting anything else. That's it. That's just it. Thank you all.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms.
So we
Talbot.
want to thank you, Miss Talbot, and Dr. Morse. I'm going to turn it over to you so that you can introduce our head, Mr. Bester. Take it away.
Okay, so like Ms. Talbot said, Istrouma is the best. We are a hidden secret here in the middle of Baton Rouge, where most people don't know how much we have going on and how much we have to offer students. And like Ms. Talbot said, we are striving to be elite, which is what Mr. Bester, our principal, the head of our school, it says to us and to our students every morning. So every morning, our students know that they are striving to be elite on the middle and the high school side. So, Mr. Bester, Mr. Elite, I have one question for you, and I think this question probably sums up the majority of everything that we've talked about today. Why would a parent who's on the fence select Istrouma as their final choice for their student?
You're muted, Mr. Bester.
Thank you, Coach Noah. First, I want to say thank you to everybody that is on this panel, because I mean it's a great panel. We've got great information, and it's kind of the backdrop of our school. But I first want to say thank you to Dr. Mims, who were not for her and her hard work, we would not be where we are today. We're not be able to be in this building. So the work that they've done goes without saying, and I don't think enough people give them enough credit, her and her team, enough credit for what they've done. Uh, like I said, we have come a long way. We have a long way to go. We have a lot of history and a lot of tradition. And everywhere you go in Baton Rouge, you know of somebody who has been at Istrouma. Uh, so what I would tell a parent that is on the fence about coming to Istrouma is that, and I tell everybody all the time, this is the place to be. I want Istrouma to know that this is the place to be, and we've made those strides. We have kids who were at charter schools who have left those charter schools to come to Istrouma. And I want to say that in addition to the teachers that we have great students like Pernicia, who not only are they very smart, they're very talented. And we have the programs that were mentioned by Mr. Crump, our honors program. We have our broadcast communications program. We have, in addition to that, we're able to offer students an opportunity to go to work, get certification to go to work right out of high school, if that's their choice. They also have a choice to go to college. With dual enrollment, that's a start. So we offer everything from career, technical, to college. So most schools, you don't have that combination, you don't have that opportunity, but we have that here. And we start with by recruiting very talented teachers, very talented staff, and we ask them to be rigorous, to make sure that we push our kids and make sure that when they leave here, they are able to do whatever they want to, whatever type job they want to. But we also ask them to come back and contribute to the community. Do not forget your community, and that's our push. That's our goal, and that's what we told our kids. Our first graduating kid class since 2002, since we opened. So since the school closed, we ask our kids to go into their careers, be elite in their careers, and also return to the community and contribute. That's what we are. That's what we are about. That's what the history of Istrouma has been, we want to make sure that everybody knows what's happening inside of the walls of Istrouma High School. And again, thanks to Dr. Mims and her team, we have that opportunity. And we tell our kids, the last thing I'm going to say, we tell our kids all the time that the only thing we can do is provide opportunity. It's what you do with it is what's going to make the difference. So any parent that's on the fence, just they step inside of our building and see what we do. They'll be convinced that this is the place to be.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sylvester. Ms. Noah, you want to go ahead and wrap us up?
Yes, ma'am. So, thank you, Ms. Sylvester, Ms. Talbot. Again, we are so excited to see Dr. Mims this morning. It was a pleasure having you with us this morning.
Yes.
I can't wait for COVID to go away so that we can all get back together as the family that we are here at Istrouma. Again, like Ms. Talbot say, we like to extend the invitation for everyone to come out and see the great things that we are doing here at Istrouma. We don't just want to be a school that talks about it, but we like to be a school that's definitely about it.
Yes, ma'am.
We strive to be elite on a daily basis. We are a family. Our middle school and our high school, we are one, and we are the best. We're the best kept secret on this side of town. And so we want to thank everyone who came out and who was here and answered our questions. We wish we had more time because I promise you, Istrouma offers so many great things that we can talk for days. However, for the sake of time, we want to just tell everyone thank you. Continue to strive to be elite. Continue to support Istrouma. And that's it.
Thank you all for having me.
Thanks to everyone.
Thank you.
Be encouraged.
Bye-bye now.
All right, everyone.